They say the sound comes before the face. A single slow tapping, a heel on a stone, and the heart remembers. This is the story of Madame Koi Koi. In a town where the rains came heavy and mango trees bent low with fruit, there sat a boarding school. White walls with blue trim, a tall gate, and a mango tree by the gate that smelt of honey in the wet season. For many of the children, it was a place of learning, of mangoes, of games when the afternoon was gentle. But for some, it was a place where feet learned to hush. Madame Koi Koi taught the older classes. Her shoes were red, bright as a warning. Her heels clicked when she walked, and that noise became a law in its own right. Madame Koi Koi loved rules like other people love the taste of bread. She loved the ruler in her hand more than she loved laughter in the room. If you whispered where you should not whisper, she found a reason to tap you with her ruler. If you came late, she would make you stand in the sun until your legs trembled. If you lied, even the smallest lie, she would make the world heavier for you until your cheeks burned. There was a small boy named Kule. He had a mother's voice that could fill a market and a pocket of good luck that sometimes ran empty. One day, he missed roll call. His mother had sent him for medicine, a simple human errand. And when he returned, he found Madame Koi Koi waiting. She raised her hand and she struck him in front of the whole class. His lips trembled. His lesson for the day was fear. When the boy's mother came to the school and saw what had been done, she did not whisper. She knocked on the headmaster's door with both fists and the market woman's fury. The headmaster listened. He saw a school becoming quieter than it should be. He called Madame Koi Koi into his office and he said, "We will not beat children in this school." He said it twice and then he said it for the last time. They fired her. Madame Koi Koi packed her things into a brown sack. She took her red shoes. Her face had been taught to be stern, and now it was like wood that had seen too much rain. No one dared to say a word. The children watched through curtains and hoped. They wished the clicking would stop. She walked home along a road the headmaster did not know the name of. The lamps were waking. Cars moved like fish in oil, fast, bright. She was used to telling others to stop and stand still. Nobody had taught her how to stand still and wait. When she stepped off the curb to cross the road, a truck, bright, heavy, came sudden like fate. A horn screamed, a light blinded, and the world gave a single breath. Madame Koi Koi fell. Her red shoes flew from her feet and rolled into a gutter full of rainy orange. She died on the road that night. They buried her under the mango tree by the school gate. The headmaster attended. Pauline's mother came. The children watched from behind their curtains, and each child learned how to fold a small grief within them. The red shoes were not buried with Madame Koi Koi. One was lost, gone into the dark of the roadside. The other, they said, was found twisting in the mud as if the soul of it had not yet chosen to rest. Madame Koi Koi did not rest. After she had been put beneath the mango's roots, the children, especially those who had known the ruler, began to hear the sound again. It was faint at first, like someone tapping a pen, then louder, a heel on a stone, steady as a slow clock. Koi Koi, Koi Koi. Doors opened without hands, windows breathed without wind, birds trembled in the night. The ghost walked and she searched. She wanted her red shoe. She wanted her shoes to be whole. She wanted the world to know she had been sent away and then taken. She wanted justice, or at least the warmth of being seen. When she could not speak, she clicked. Across the town, across other boarding schools, the same story began to travel in small, frightened voices.
If you hear the sound, one child whispered to another, "Do not answer the door." They spoke the name low, Madam Koi Koi. And the ghost came not only to the school that had known her, she came to any place that smelled of strictness and dry rulers. She came to dormitories where anger nested like an ugly bird. If a teacher punished a child without listening, the tapping would come, a warning, an accusation, a cold breath over the back of the neck. She did not spare the guilty lightly. She did not spare the afraid either. Her grief had teeth. For some nights, the hauntings were fierce. Pans fell from racks. Windows shook. The mango tree spilled leaves in the stillness of noon. Children who had once feared her now feared the hollow of her absence turned into something else. But the ghost's anger had a deeper thing inside it. Hunger, yes, and bitterness, but also a kind of sorrow that had forgotten its own name. She wanted to be understood. She wanted her story told differently than the way it had ended, dismissed, struck down, and buried under a tree. There was a new girl at the school, Anna. Anna had a kind of careless laugh that could burst a serious face open. She was the sort of girl who bent rules like they were rivers and thought she could jump them whenever she pleased. Teachers called her nonchalant. Students called her fearless. Anna called herself simply free. One night, when the older girls were whispering the Madam Koi Koi story beneath their blankets, Anna rolled over and said, loud enough for the circle to hear, "You still believe that? Come on, you girls are funny. A ghost looking for a shoe? Please." "Shh, Anna, don't say that. You wake it. Wake it? If a shoe is all it wants, I'll buy it one. Where is she going to find a red shoe in this school? It's nonsense." The laughter dies down. A small pause. The room exhales. Anna's laugh broke the spell in the room. The other girls huddled closer. But Anna tossed her head and kept on. She left the circle that night and walked across the dormitory to the latrine, humming as if the night were hers to own. She had not gone far when the sound came, the clicking she had mocked. At first, Anna thought it was just a student with shoes. She glared in the dark. "Who is there? If you are a ghost, show yourself." I'm not scared though," Anna said. The torch in Anna's hand flickers. The air goes cold. In that cold, Anna felt something she had never felt. Smallness. Her brave laugh was a paper thing, and the night pressed on it. The clicking circled her like a slow question. Madam Koi Koi said to her gently, "They fired me. They left me on the road. My shoe rolled to the gutter. I am not here for laughter. I am here for what was taken." Anna's shoulders dropped. The bravado that had carried her through school rules for weeks fell away like spilled water. She remembered the time her own mother had been pushed aside in a market queue and how she had stood up and laughed. Later, she had felt ashamed. I didn't know. I didn't know she had been hurt like that." The ghost listened. The clicking slowed, became less like a scold and more like a metronome measuring a beat towards something else. Madam Koi Koi whispered, "Words cuts, child. Laughter can hide a stone. Bring what you can to mend." Hannah did not run that night. She went back to the dorm to the circle of girls and sat with them in the hush. She told them what she had heard, not to boast of her bravery, but because the sound had put a new weight in her chest. She apologized for laughing at the old wound. The girls murmured, "You did the right thing, Hannah." That night was the first small crack in Hannah's armor. She learned how quick a laugh can be to hide a hurt, and how a brave face sometimes needs to be soft on the inside. In the days that followed, she was the one to put it, and the one who stopped a prefect for shouting at a junior for a torn uniform. The ghost did not leave for good that night, nor did she vanish forever, but the way the clicking met Hannah's ears had changed. It asked for repair instead of only revenge, and Hannah's laugh from then on had a new shape.
not the careless peel of someone who thought rules were only toys, but the softer sound of a girl learning how to fold kindness into courage. The whole school gathered one evening under the mango tree. Teachers, students, even the headmaster stood together and prayed. They asked God to give Madam Koi Koi peace. They prayed for forgiveness for the ways the school had failed her and for the fear her spirit carried. They also prayed for themselves to be better, kinder, wiser. When the final amen echoed into the night, the wind moved gently through the mango leaves. That was when the students heard it. One last soft heel click, koi, koi, faint, peaceful, like a goodbye. From that night, Madam Koi Koi never returned to disturb the dorms again. Her spirit rested because justice and kindness had finally been found in that school. And Hannah, the girl who once laughed at every rule, she changed. She started respecting her teachers. She stopped breaking school rules. She even became the one reminding others to be careful and to show kindness. She learned that bravery isn't laughing at danger. Bravery is doing what is right. The school became a better place. Less fear, more patience, more love. And sometimes, on very quiet nights, when someone walks past the mango tree, they say they hear a tiny tap, far, far away. Koi, koi, koi. Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. We truly appreciate you spending your time with us. Please subscribe to this channel. It is very important to support the growth of this channel and help us continue bringing you more amazing African stories. Do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed